This
reduce the bounces on your dead and reduce your.
We're waiting to see what's going on with Sammy Vasquez. He's just been brutally knocked out, and before the commercial break, he was still on the canvas. It was a 6-round KO. Sammy Vasquez has already been down earlier in the fight, and my concern is
weather.
You know, if you know what I know about mental health and what he has dealt with as far as post-traumatic stress disorder, taking a loss like this could be very, very hard on him. Now, Luis Collazo's last fight was, of course, against Keith Thurman. What was that, about 20 months ago or something like that? So now he's come back, got a big win, KO win, over a good up-and-coming, you could say he was a prospect fringe contender. The Felix Diaz loss setting back. But Sammy Vasquez had a nice little cult following name grown for himself. And now looking at him, 21-2, lost his last 2, fights. I'm thinking, well, depending on what we find out about what's going on with him, and I hope that not only does it mentally collapse him, but that he's physically okay. Because when he went down, his leg kind of gave out. He got hit with a right hook. His leg kind of gave out. He fell, but as he was falling, it looked like his head, his neck, and everything was falling before he did. So he got kind of like a whiplash type of thing that happened. But then as he's laying there, you can see, and I'm watching it, 55 inches. You can see that he's in pain, face just fully red. So I'm wondering, I hope maybe he can get, what do they call it in boxing, a stinger? Let me turn it up.
It's everything to me. Watch my right hook, and it's that right hook that dropped Sammy Vasquez.
This is real time.
Now here's the good news. When we left and went to break, Sammy Vasquez was on the mat. He is up. He's talking. He's moving around. Yep, they embraced. He said, hey, listen, I'm fine. There's a hospital, Baptist DeSoto, that is 30 minutes from the venue, and they said that's where they go for precautionary reasons. But as you see him there talking about the fight, that is the good news. As we take a look again.
Okay, so he's cool. So Sammy Vasquez is cool, but now, as I said, the second part, I really hope that he, the loss doesn't get him down. I really hope that the loss doesn't get him down too much, and that he comes back stronger. But after 2 straight losses, what do you think he has to work on? Because one thing is he lost to a Luis Collazo, who is he's a veteran. Even though he's been in big fights, Luis Collazo usually loses all of his big fights. So this is a really huge win for him. So now I'm thinking, where does he go from here? Now Heyman are matching his fighters tough, and for some reason, okay, before the whole Carol Brooks situation, I would have said Errol Spence. But who do you think Luis Collazo in the 147-pound division, that he'll probably fight? If the Birdo deal doesn't happen, you could probably see Luis Collazo versus Shawn Porter. But that's kind of old Heyman logic, right? So, in my opinion, whatever Luis Collazo's next fight is going to be, it's going to be a big fight. I'm pretty confident that it's going to be a big fight. But who? So, like I said, as far as Sammy Vasquez, let's listen to what Luis Collazo has to say. See if he calls anybody out.
All right. Luis Collazo is victorious, and he's standing by right now with our Ray Flores.
Thank you very much, Brian. Luis, congratulations on the victory. Let's go through the knockout. You told us in the fighter meetings yesterday, watch out for the right hook. Lo and behold, you put him out in the 6th, finishing off Sammy Vasquez Jr.
Going into the fight, I knew he didn't like the body shots too much. And in the locker room earlier today, Carlos Quintana was telling me, he's going to be waiting for the shot downstairs. So now what we're going to do is touch him soft and come back up top. Take a bite, bring his guards down, and exactly what he did. He opened up. We both was trying to line up that hook, and my hook landed before.
He started pretty strong early in the fight, yet you remained composed and showed your poise. Did you feel like there was going to be an opportunity at some point during the fight for you to land that big shot?
I'm a slow starter. In the gym, or while I was sparring, I was going through the same thing. I was getting in with dumb shots for like the first 3 rounds, and after 3 rounds, I picked it up the pace. And I don't know. I guess I'm a distance fighter, and you know, I got the experience. 35. A lot of people say I don't have the youth, but I still got the youth. And well, glory to God.
Well, speaking of the youth, you have, you know, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence at 147 pounds, a litany of guys that you can collide against. You fought Keith Thurman some 17 months ago, but if you got your wish, who would you like next?
You know, right now, Keith Thurman is fighting Garcia. I believe Errol Spence is fighting Kell Brooks. And I believe Shawn Porter is the only one right now. He don't have no opponent. And, hey, if you want to dance, you can dance.
Luis, congratulations on the victory. Look forward to seeing you very soon.
Thank you. God bless.
Back to you, Brian.
Thank you very much.
I'm looking at the 147-pound rankings, and you know, I'm talking about the top 15 of the sanctioning bodies, and I'm wondering who could he really fight that, you know, won't cause any too much political, you know, issues. For example, you know, you gotta kind of scratch out the Golden Boy fighters, right? And what about top ranked fighters? You know, could we possibly see him versus Felix Diaz? You know, I think that's a fight that could be made. You know, even though Felix Diaz is chasing Terrence Crawford at his more natural division of 140 pounds. I'm looking at the 147-pound division, and I'm thinking, you know, who can he fight that it won't like be any type of promotional issues, you know, or anything. And like he said, you know, Shawn Porter. But if the Shawn Porter-Andre Berto fight doesn't happen, which it should, then, you know, Shawn Porter needs to fight. So, to me, it makes kind of some sense. But I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I hope Sammy Vasquez is okay. 6-round brutal knockout. He was already down earlier in the fight, and he just couldn't find a rhythm. But watching him over the last several fights, I also kind of thought to myself, like, well, you know, he's okay, but he's not really that good. You know, let's just be honest. He was still in that prospect fringe contender phase, and you put him in against a tough test against Felix Diaz, you know, and look what happened with that fight. And then you put him in against Luis Collazo, you know, the best veteran that he fought in his career up until this point, and look what happened. So, you know, it depends on how you look at it, man. But like I said, I'm more concerned about, you know, the mental aspect of things, and hoping, just like he said when he was talking about how he was bullied in his personal, like how he was bullied when he was a kid, and boxing is the reason why he started boxing, because he was being bullied. I'm hoping that he continues to box and doesn't let, you know, these two defeats mentally get him down. You see what I'm saying? Especially with that that post-traumatic stress disorder. But also, we have to also hope that he makes the proper adjustments so he don't get knocked the fuck out like that again. You know? So, on TstreeT Controversy, that shit was ugly. On TstreeT Controversy, this is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live, and we're just less than a few weeks away from the mega plan. Please subscribe. All the links to my social media right down below in the description box. Check out the website, FightView360.com. The link is right down below in the description box, where you can find the post-fight release on Collazo and Vasquez, as well as the highlights and quotes and whatnot. TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. Please subscribe.